Hi guys, welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be discussing the Q4 FY24 result as well as the con call of the hospital space. I'll be covering two companies in this video. One is Jupiter Lifeline Hospital. I've given the result update. I'll cover the con call here for this company. And then Global Healthcare, which is Medanta. So for this, I'll cover both the result as well as the con call because I haven't covered the result update over here. So these two hospitals will be doing first. Actually, today, I will try to complete the entire hospital space, which is in my tracking list. That is a goal. Let us see how much we can do, right? So first, let us start with Jupiter Lifeline Hospital, right? So if you look both Jupiter and Global Health Medanta, they are recent IPOs. I would say Global Health has been there for a quite longer time. Jupiter Lifeline has been there for around 6 to 9 months. I do not know if you guys can hear some background noise because there has been some crows and some kind of bird sitting in my balcony, so there is some like noise over there. But yeah, I hope it's not heard in videos. But anyways, let's come back. So we're talking about Jupiter Lifeline Hospital, right? And since the time they've come to IPO, they had two goals. One is to increase the bed capacity. They wanted to double the beds in the 5 years, and they were targeting. So if you take the bed capacity ka range, the growth rate comes between 15 to 20%, and that is what they've also guided for in terms of top line, and they've done accordingly. Okay. And the second thing is whatever the IPO fund they have, they wanted to use that IPO fund for two things. One is for expansion plans, and the other one is for taking care of the debt, right? Because if they clear the debt, the interest cost gets lower. As a result, of course, your PAT will become better. Your finance cost is less, right? As a result, you'll have improved margin also. So these are the two goals, and you'll see that consistently they've been delivering on this front, right? If you look at the Q4 result also has been great only in terms like revenue. I'm talking about on a year-on-year base. It has been up by 16%. Now, if you're targeting 15% ka guidance and you've done 16.5, I know relatively probably not the best in the space. Okay, but if you look according to the guidance, it has been doing well. Even PAT also has been up by 59% on a year-on-year basis. So overall, a good set of numbers, right? Even in terms, if you look at their occupancy, like if you have to look at all your hospital KPIs, right? Whether it is occupancy, the ALOS, RPOP, in all parameters also you will see an increase. Occupancy, I would say not a huge increase over here, like hardly by little basis points only. Because if you compare FY23 versus FY24, you will see that the occupancy has increased from 62.5 to 63.8%. Okay. RPOP भी जो है, it has increased from 51,310 rupees to 54,871. So you're seeing a good 4 to 5% increase in RPOP. Now, the reason for this increase in RPOP is not because your volumes have increased, right? That is not one of the reasons, but RPOP has increased because इनका अगर आप आई एम स्टिल इन द कॉल या इनका अगर आप पेयर मिक्स देखते हो, ज्यादा से ज्यादा पेयर मिक्स आता है. आई थिंक इट्स कमिंग लाइक 49% from cash and the rest from your insurance company. Very hardly few 3 to 4 percentage points you're getting from this government and other sectors, right? So if you look, because of this, of course, right, cash may they took a price increase at the beginning of the year. They took around 5% ka price increase. And the other hospitals that is there, which is in Thane and Pune, right? Because they have three hospitals, one in Thane, Pune, and the other one in Indore. So in Thane and Pune, they've got that insurance, from insurance, they've got a price hike in the range of 8 to 10%. So you see, RPOP is a good, RPOP has increased over here on the basis of value growth over here, okay? Now let's see what has happened in the con call. अगर आप con call में देखते हो ना, it has been morely focused on the capex plan that they have been doing, because they had around 1,200 beds and they wanted to take it, I think, around 1,000 beds. If I have to take at the beginning, 961 to 1,000 beds in the start when they came to IPO, and they wanted to take it up to 2,200 beds in the next 5 years. That was the target that they had come up with during IPO, right? So as per the target, there are two things. One, they will do brownfield in the existing hospitals that are there, which is your Thane, Pune, and Indore ka jo teen hospital hai. There they will do brownfield and try to increase the capacity. And they wanted to construct two new hospitals, right? So if you look, उनका इंदौर का जो hospital है, इंदौर का hospital is at 60% occupancy as of now. So they want to drive more and more volumes over here, and they're planning to add around 75 beds. So this should be employed, by the end of the year. By this, that is FY24, FY25 May, the capex for this must be done, and the average cost of this capex is 15 crore. And जो पुणे का उनका hospital है, they want to add around 22 beds. So this is the brownfield capex that they're looking right now. Indore में, after adding 75 beds, they still still have space to add another 200 beds. But this they will see कि like after how this how the existing 75 beds जो वो लोग डाल रहे हैं इस साल में उसको occupancy देके कैसे वो चल रहे हैं, after that they will plan on to that. Other than that, if you see, they have another two major capex coming up in form of greenfield. Okay, because when they came in IPO, other than these three hospitals, they were already constructing another hospital in Dombivli in Bombay, in Maharashtra. In Dombivli region, they were constructing a hospital. It is a 500 bed hospital, ठीक है, and it will be completed in Q4 of FY26. Now Jupiter का एक खास चीज है, मतलब उनका जो भी hospital आप देख रहे हो, right? It is they've constructed in their own land, and they've done that. They have done the capex themselves. They have not like taken any help from the government or any other region. So as a result, they're very comfortable keeping that payer mix at like maximum. I think 95-98% of the payer mix is coming from cash and insurance. One of the reason is because they don't take any third party or external help, right? So they're not obligated in a way to like offer this CGHS, ECHS ka ECHS ke liye bed. Okay. So Dombivli ka hospital will give them 500 beds, and this inka first phase of capex, I think 250 to 300 beds dalega yahan pe, and this will be commissioned in Q4 of FY26. Other than this, in Pune only they're putting up another hospital. Okay, Pune mein already existing a hospital hai, which they have been having very early on. Other than that, they will add another new hospital. इसके लिए already उन्होंने एक land parcel जो है वहाँ पे एक lease पे लिया है, and they can go ahead, like 10-year का lease agreement है इस land पे, and after 3 years they will go ahead to buy it. Right now they don't want to buy the land क्योंकि cash flows में दिक्कत हो सकता है. Here also they are constructing around a 500 bed hospitals. That is what they're targeting over here. Again, it is a very new project. Only the land and the other things are done. There is no tentative date कि like ये कब हो जाएगा and everything. So all of this combined together, मतलब जो इंडोर का capex है, पुणे का जो 22 beds है, पुणे का नया hospital जो है और डोंबिवली hospital जो है, this will take them closer to the target of doubling the bed capacity from 1200 जो है to 2200 का bed. ठीक है. And a lot of people might think like अरे पुणे में एक hospital है तो दूसरा hospital क्यों कर रहे हो, मतलब cannibalization हो जाएगा ना, मतलब so that won't be the thing, क्योंकि अभी भी आप देख सकते हो पुणे, there are a lot of people, the population is increasing over there, but there is no super specialty treatment. The healthcare infrastructure is still not there. A lot of people will have to go to Bombay, to get those super specialty treatment. So they see there is a lack in the healthcare infrastructure, and that is why they need to put up another hospital in Pune. Okay. And the other thing is यहाँ पे जो after COVID, especially ये सब insurance का, there has been a lot of education in terms of health insurance and why it is important. So a lot of people these days are more and more comfortable visiting hospitals. They don't have that fear कि like hospital जाएगा तो you will come into debt because of the healthcare thing. Other than that also उनका जो पहला जो hospital है, right, मतलब by putting up two hospitals also won't cannibalize is because जो existing hospital जो है and the new hospital that is there. Existing hospital is in this region called Baner, which is in the west of Pune. और जो नया हॉस्पिटल है वो एक गंगादम एरिया, आई माइट बी मिसप्रोनाउंसिंग, गंगादम एरिया इट इज विच इज इन द साउथ ऑफ पुणे. ओके, ठीक है. सो वो दोनों हॉस्पिटल में अगर आप देखते हो ड्राइव टाइम इज अराउंड 1 hour, सो इट इज सो इट वुडंट बी इन कैनिबलाइजिंग एनीथिंग. ठीक है. सो ओवरऑल यू कैन टेल कि लाइक केपेक्स तो अच्छा चल रहा है. ठीक है. ऑक्यूपेंसी शुड इंक्रीज ऑल्सो फ्रॉम हियर. दैट इज वन थिंग वी आर होपिंग ऑन, बिकॉज दिस टाइम द ग्रोथ हैज बीन प्राइमरीली ड्रिवन बाय आरपॉप. लाइक आई टोल्ड यू, सेल्फ पेयर मिक्स में उन्होंने 5% का प्राइस हाइक लिया था फरवरी और मार्च में in after Q3, and insurance में right after Q3 they got that a price hike of 8 to 10% in the Pune and Thane का hospital में renegotiation हुआ था, right? So based on this they got this. That's why you will see occupancy there has been no change in year on year, 62 to 63. So that is the only thing. But overall I would say okay, good company only. मतलब see, if they're guiding for 15% का growth and it has also been doing that only, not a big deal I would say. Only thing is it's probably not the fastest growing in terms in this space, because if you take a lot of regional hospitals, we have in the listed space at least regional hospital hai to Jupiter hai, Yatharth hai, GPT Healthcare and Global Healthcare. These are the four I would say regional and small hospital, and especially in the recent times the IPO has come. So over there I would say Jupiter is I would say the third ranking compared to the other hospitals. What I'll do is right now let me just cover the individual, what is happening on the company on an individual basis. Probably on the weekend I will do a peer-to-peer analysis of the entire sector, so it will give you a much better idea. It's just that see, when I'm making this video, I can just read the con call, make the notes, and I can make a video. But if I'm doing a peer-to-peer analysis now, I'll have to put it in Excel, because अगर मैं सिर्फ ऐसा numbers बोलते रहूंगी कि like यथार्थ का ये sales growth, आपका शायद you will not be able to compare it, right? I might be able to do it in my head, but you might not be able to retain those numbers very clearly. But if it is on the screen for you, either in the form of an Excel or a document, if I can share the screen and show it to you, I think it will be able to provide a better perspective, right? Like since you'll be able to do it along with me, the comparison, right? Because I might tell Yatharth ka growth and then you might forget what is Jupiter ka growth. So that is the thing. Okay. So overall, a good company. It has been doing what it has told in IPO. They've been walking the talk. Just I would say it is probably not the fastest growing here in this space. That is the only thing. Okay. If they can increase their pace of growth with the current expansion plans that they have, then I would say it would be great. Okay. So next we have is global healthcare. Which is Medanta, right? So Medanta, if you look their business model, अगर आप देखते हो, उनका 5 हॉस्पिटल है, ठीक है? गुरुग्राम में, इंदौर, रांची, लखनऊ एंड पटना, ठीक है? 5 हॉस्पिटल है, and 80% of their revenue comes from super specialty and 20% जो है rest is there is from general medicine, ठीक है? So उनका plan था, once they came in IPO was they had around, I think last time if you look at Q3 FY24, उनका total beds था 2,725, okay? And they wanted to take the bed capacity to 3,500 to 4,000 ka range in the next 2 years. Matlab, in the next 2 years, that is what they had. So almost you can tell 46% increase in bed capacity in the span of 2 years. That was the goal. Okay. And they've always been targeting for this 20% kind of growth rate, right? And even if you take the 20% growth rate, so let us see how it has done. So if you look, right, on a QOQ, not QOQ, sorry, Q4 of last year to Q4 of this year, thoda sa disappointing hai result. I mean, very little, but on a year-on-year basis, FY23 versus FY24 has been good. So FY23 versus FY24, year-on-year agar aap dekhte ho, the revenue has grown by 21% or PAT jo hai has been grown by 46%. So really good. But agar aap Q4 on Q4, matlab last Q4 versus this Q4 mein dekhte ho, revenue has grown by 14.5% and PAT jo hai has hardly grown by 2.4%. So thoda sa operating leverage में यहाँ पे Q4 और Q4 थोड़ा दिक्कत हुआ है, ठीक है? EBITDA margin has been great क्योंकि last time 24.5 था, last year में, इस साल में 26% है. So overall great in terms of margin. Now the reason why you're seeing Q4 on Q4 में थोड़ा सा dip is because उनका जो एक hospital है लखनऊ में, यहाँ पे seasonality के वजह से lot of volume has been, in terms of occupancy has really been affected over here. Because see, right, a lot of these hospitals, they might do super specialty or other things, but even there is a factor of seasonality involved over here, right? Because Q2 में बारिश आते हैं, a lot of the diseases come, you contract viruses and infections. As a result, you do occupy beds and occupancy increases because of that. Sometimes because of these diseases such as dengue and everything, you might need intensive care unit also, right? So this way your occupancy increases in Q2, ठीक है? Q3 में थोड़ा कम होता है compared to Q2 और Q4 में इससे भी कम होता है because a lot of winter season में थोड़ा diseases कम होता है compared to summer seasons. Okay, so here Lucknow का has always been the seasonality aspect के वजह से थोड़ा सा occupancy के dip होने के वजह से Q4 और Q4 में वो थोड़ा mid teens का growth आ गया है, which used to be a 20% का growth engine, वो थोड़ा अभी 14-15% का growth आ गया है. पर management का बोलना है कि like this will recover, it is just a factor of seasonality and we should see it doing better at least from the coming quarters and Q2, ठीक है? Now हम बात करते हैं in terms of इनकी hospital का KPIs, मतलब hospital metrics से अगर आपको compare करना पड़ेगा, right? Occupancy, ARPOB, ALOS. One more thing, if you want to understand the hospital sector, you can just have done a small video again on YouTube. It's, I think, in my business analysis playlist where, what are the parameters you should be looking for and how to compare it. Okay. Agar aap occupancy ka dekhte, occupancy has increased very nicely, 59% last time, and abhi 64% hai, okay? So a good increase of like 5% you can see, okay? ARPOB bhi jo hai, ARPOB also has increased. Last time tha 59,000, abhi hua hai 61,890, okay? Now here also इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग्स अगर आप देखते हो, इनका भी अगर आप पेयर मिक्स देखते हो, सी पेयर मिक्स इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आप जो भी एक हॉस्पिटल में देखते हो, बिकॉज आरपॉब इज डायरेक्टली अ फंक्शन ऑफ पेयर मिक्स. ओके, बिकॉज इफ यू हैव कैश सेगमेंट मोर, in any hospital compared to your insurance and compared to your government policies, ECHS, CGHS, or whatever, you will be able to readily take the price increase in self-pay mix. As a result, your ARPOB will get better. Even if you don't have super speciality or anything, ARPOB can increase at least because of the increase in tariff. Like आपका value growth यहाँ से आता है. Two reasons for ARPOB to increase. One is because higher case mix. आप ये radiation करो, oncology करो, robotic surgery करो, इसमें क्या होता है, एक surgery के लिए price ज़्यादा होता है. So as a result, because of that, या second thing, the price hike. Like एक surgery का price हो सकता था 30,000 last time. This time it is 35,000. So because of this price hike also, you can increase. ठीक है. So ARPOB also, like I told you, 59,000 था, अभी 61,000 हो गया है. And along with ARPOB, you're seeing that ALOS जो है, average length of stay, which compares the efficiency of the hospital, that has been quite stable at 3.3. So overall, good metrics in terms of hospital KPI. Just only because of that लखनऊ का एक issue की वजह से थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे mid teens का growth आ चुका है इस quarter में. That is it. ठीक है. अगर आप उनको domestic और international patient भी देखते हो, in fact I would say compare relatively, आप ये चारों हॉस्पिटल का देखते हो ना, जीपीटी, जुपिटर, यथार्थ एंड और कौन सा ग्लोबल हेल्थ केयर का, यहाँ पे ग्लोबल हेल्थ मेदांता का इंटरनेशनल पेशेंट इज वे हायर कंपेयर टू एनीबडी एल्स, क्योंकि यहाँ पे इंटरनेशनल पेशेंट इज 6% एंड डोमेस्टिक पेशेंट इज 94%. सो रियली गुड. ठीक है. अभी हम बात करते हैं केपेक्स का. लाइक आई टोल्ड यू, उनका Q3 में 2,725 beds था, and they wanted to increase up to 3,500 to 4,000 bed in the span of next 2 years, right? In by FY20, like in the next 2 years. So capex के अगर आप हिसाब से देखते हो, again similar as Jupiter, they want to increase the capacity, the brownfield capex in their existing hospitals जो है, और greenfield भी करना चाहता है. ठीक है. And अगर आप देखते हो brownfield में उनका 2 हॉस्पिटल है, एक है लखनऊ में, एक पटना में. लखनऊ में they added 98 beds in this पूरा साल. In FY24 they added 98 beds, and in Patna mein they added 28 beds. Okay, so overall in the entire year FY24, through the brownfield capex, they added 126 beds, taking the bed number to around 2,000, I think 2,900 odds, I think in that range. Okay. So that or not 2,900, I think it's 2,823 in complete year. I could be a bit wrong over here. I'll have to just recheck. Okay. Other than that, if you see, like there are other greenfield capex that they are doing. ठीक है. पहला हो रहा है उनका South Delhi में, they are putting up a hospital which is a partnership between both them as well as DLF. Like it is like both will have 50% equity, but DLF will take care of all this, land and everything, and जो global Medanta है, they will take care of the other, the medical part of it. So this is a partnership between them and DLF. और यहाँ पे एक 400 bed का hospital है, जिसमें 300 bed 400 बेड का हॉस्पिटल है, बट देयर इज नो टाइमलाइन एज टू लाइक कब ये होने वाला है, बिकॉज जस्ट राइट नाउ ओनली दे फाउंड द लैंड एंड द लैंड का सब वो जो गवर्नमेंट का अप्रूवल है वो सब अभी हो रहा है. सो देयर इज नो टाइमलाइन गिवन एज टू लाइक कब ये हॉस्पिटल विल बी ऑपरेशनल. ठीक है. अदर देन दैट दे आर पुटिंग अप अनदर हॉस्पिटल इन इंदौर विच इज अराउंड 400 बेड कैपेसिटी का हॉस्पिटल है, दे आर पुटिंग अप. ठीक है. सो ये 2 ग्रीनफील्ड हॉस्पिटल हो गया. ठीक है. दिस इज रिसेंटली दैट दे हैव स्टार्टेड इन FY24, मतलब इस साल में उन्होंने ये दोनों का ग्रीनफील्ड का स्टार्ट किया है. ठीक है. सितंबर 2022 में दे हैड स्टार्टेड अनदर ग्रीनफील्ड हॉस्पिटल इन नोएडा विच इज लाइक अ 550 बेडेड हॉस्पिटल जो है, दे हैव स्टार्टेड विद दैट एंड दैट इज गोइंग ऑन ट्रैक, एंड प्रोबेबली इन बाय द एंड ऑफ दिस ईयर, Q4 इस साल का या Q1 of next year FY26 में this should commence into operation. ठीक है. So this will take them into the target. So all these brownfield capex जो कर रहा है इंदौर और लखनऊ और पटना में, and the greenfield in Indore, South Delhi and Noida, ये तीन जगहों से the number of beds should increase from 2,800 odds to like around 3,500 to 4,000. Okay. So other than this also, in the next quarter you will see again, other than the 98 beds that is already put in Lucknow, you will see another 45 beds also. So overall this is a capex that they're doing, right? That is that. Other than the capex, if you look at it, right, there is like everything is good, क्योंकि ज्यादा से ज्यादा हॉस्पिटल यहाँ पे थोड़ा नया हॉस्पिटल है, so a little bit of increase in occupancy is needed over here. So that is what they're focusing on. In fact, what I like about this hospital is, a lot of times the analysts come and ask you like, आपका insurance में आपका rate hike हुआ, आप कितना ले रहे हैं, cash payer में कितना ले रहे हैं, and they keep telling कि like, because the insurance का negotiation होते हैं once in 2 years या once in 3 years, depending on the insurance party and the hospital, right? And they're always like, देखो मुझे तो यहाँ पे I want to increase my revenue, increase my ARPOB by increasing the volumes, by increasing occupancy, not by increasing the price, because as a healthcare system you should be able to provide treatment for everybody free, and by increasing the price, it shouldn't be like a barrier for somebody to not be able to get a treatment. So this is, I think, I've heard the management talk about it multiple times, and they're not very keen on increasing the price, either on the cash payer mix very aggressively or on the insurance front. That is one thing. Okay. So global Medanta ka, sorry, healthcare Medanta ka wahi hai. All is good, right? Only thing is वो लखनऊ के वजह से थोड़ा इस quarter में थोड़ा little bit the pace of growth has come down. Hopefully, because of that, we don't. Hopefully, this doesn't continue the trend, and we see that the occupancy comes up and gets better, and we see it goes back to the 20% का growth rate. Just quickly, उनका मैं balance sheet और cash flows का बात करूँ तो balance sheet is also very tight. ROE also has improved from 13 to 14.6%. So overall, there is no problem. In terms of CFO, अगर आप देखते हो ना net cash flow में थोड़ा सा मतलब flat है. 641 crores था last time, अभी 612 crores है. Receivables has increased. Last time 21 crore था, इस बार 44 crores. So little bit थोड़ा सा increase हुआ है. That's it, because I think they're clocking north of 100 crores only every quarter, so it shouldn't be a big deal for them over here with like 44 crores increase in receivables, right? So that's that overall good set. इनका भी एक चीज, you can see that ARPOB is higher. ARPOB is 60,000, just like Jupiter Lifeline compared to Yatharth. Yatharth का ARPOB देखोगे it's around, I think, what, 30,000. Is because the same thing here. इनका भी around 60% आता है cash से, 40% आता है आपका insurance company से, ठीक है? I think almost in that range. Yeah, I think in that range only around. So most of the things, I think not 60%, but around around 61% is coming from there, and 24% I think is coming from insurance space, something around that. But you will see one good trend over here is इनका ये cash payer mix जो है ना, it is reducing. FY20 में 65 था, अभी 61 है, and the insurance segment is increasing. And see, insurance segment is a win-win, right? Because if your insurance company is connected with the hospital and it is not connected to with, let's say, another hospital, you would always prefer one where the cashless network is with that hospital. So good thing over here. Only thing I will tell you is here, the profitability throughout the year, if you see, yeah, the profitability throughout the year, if you see, it has been like, I'm talking about Q1 over Q1, Q2 over Q2, Q3 over Q3, and Q4 over Q4. It has been in the range of 40 to 50%. So even if I take conservatively, if I'm taking around like 25% ka growth, because they've grown their revenue at 20%. So let's say we are getting a little bit of operating leverage, and conservatively में 25% का net profit लगा के लेके जाओ. And let's say the best case scenario is they continue with the 40% ka profit rate, right? Net profit rate. Then the 1 year forward ka P comes in the range of 45 to 52. I just think for a hospital growing at 20% ka rate, and jiska bed capacity is increasing by 46% in the span of 2 years, it is a bit expensive, right? And with this, if the pace of growth declines and if it continues like this, I believe it does become a bit expensive compared to the likes of the other hospitals that are there, such as Jupiter, Yatharth, and GPT Healthcare. That is it. I just find it a bit expensive compared to the other. I mean, I am getting Narayana Healthcare also at what, like 40p, and when it is at such a big base. So I would say global health, only problem is, I would say, valuation right now in terms of it. I would say the risk to reward, I would say the risk is a bit more compared to reward. I think it's just not valuation wise very accretive. Valuation wise accretive compared to the other hospitals that are there. Yeah, so that's that about both the Jupiter as well as Global Healthcare Medanta. In my next video, I will cover GPT Healthcare at Rainbow Hospitals. And yeah, after that, I should be covering Apollo Max and Narayan Hrudayalaya in the other video. So I'll be covering the entire hospital space today. And Sunday, I think I will do a peer-to-peer analysis, because it just takes time to put everything on the Excel, right? So and just create those charts or whatever. But yeah, that's that for the entire hospital space. See you again in another video. Until then, bye.